Okay, so this reading is for Gemini. So if you are a Gemini, then this could be a message in here for you. So there's the sword. Usually swords have to deal with the mind. And you are ruled by Mercury, which is communication and the mind. And you're a very intelligent person. You're sharp as a sword. Then you have the father. Okay, so you may be a father, or maybe having some kind of situation with your father. Has to do with communication, maybe. There's communication. It's like when you communicate with your father, it's like night and day. There's an opposing factor here. And then you have the judge. Okay, so there could be like a judgment. You guys have different ways of judging. Either you judge, maybe you guys judge each other. You guys are mirroring each other. There's the vow. Maybe there's a situation about a promise. Something that gnosis. Something that like wasn't quite said, even though it's like communication night and day. The father, there's an element here of a vow and something that's been unsaid, or there's something unclear that like you're almost in search of. And then you have the lover. Okay, this could be unreceived love as a child. This could be a decision. I'm thinking that there's something about a decision that was made. Okay, one more. And the prayer. Okay, so it's keeping hope, having hope in things will work out. But if you change the communication stuff, but I'll see what the tarot cards have to say. Okay, so for the Gemini zodiac signs, what is the situation here? The situation is when it comes to thinking, when it comes to speaking or communicating on either side, it's very quick and hasty. And usually when that happens, it's not kind of going the direction that you intended. It's like it always steers off to another direction because of how fast it's coming out. It's not quite catching the meaning, what you mean. Things that are said are not quite what they meant. Your challenge is to collaborate. Okay, you could collaborate with other people, maybe talk to a therapist, talk to a friend about, getting things out on the table, but also creating something that's tangible in this world that you could use to work on yourself in towards communication with your father. It sounds like more of like something in a group, working with other people, or working together with your father with somebody else, having like a mediator present to kind of be the third party to, give you guys the truth of what is going on here, because you guys can't quite see it. You have to focus on knowing your worth. Don't be afraid to be in the spotlight, and don't pretend to make yourself small. That's something that's a habit. Allow yourself to be who you are in the spotlight, present, completely and whole, like in the light. Don't be afraid to take center stage. Don't be afraid to be authentic and be yourself. Maybe you're holding parts back when you're communicating. Okay, in the recent past, there was a situation that was heartbreaking to you. It could have had to do with your father, or it could have to do with something completely different, but you walked away from it. You learned your lesson, walked away from it, you let it go. Maybe it was something within your father that there was a judgment and you walked away from it. I don't know. Okay, so currently you're trying to complete this cycle. You're trying to wrap up this cycle with your father. You're trying to bring it to a close. You're not sure why it's not closing. There's still things that are being held onto. There's still parts of you that you're holding on to about this relationship, and you can't quite close it out until it's all put on the table and all worked out. It's really heavy. It's really stressful and giving you a headache. Like you just can't understand like why we can't close out the cycle. You feel like you walked away from the problem, but there's still more that hasn't been addressed. This the reading is all about communication in your future. In your future, once you do close up the cycle with your father and you guys come to an understanding, maybe some kind of forgiveness, and like a new level of knowing each other, it will bring you for sure into a rebirth of yourself, because you need this in order to get to this higher version of yourself, because it's like a karmic cycle, you know, it's like a karmic lesson that you can't get out of. It's like destined. You have to figure out what this is in order to be the new version of yourself, the death and rebirth of yourself, or else you're just stuck in that kind of holding pattern that until you figure out what it is, everything is kind of stuck. The energy that you're bringing in this energy because you want to start something new. It's completely new. You want to take a step in a direction that you've never taken before, where you're going to be like learning a new path towards a prosperous, where you're going to make money. Maybe it's a job, a career. Maybe you've been studying something. Maybe you just finished, you got a certificate, and you're going a new direction towards a different kind of career. So it's going to be completely new for you. But you can't take the first step in that direction until you finish this karmic cycle with your father. What is trying to influence you? What is trying to influence you is the Ace of Wands. So there is this download that's trying to come through you of inspiration of how to clear this karmic cycle. If you would just take time to listen to what your inner guiding system is telling you, what are the nudges and the hunches you get, like towards which, if you just quiet yourself and quiet your mind, which is very hard because you probably have a very active mind, but if you could just do something to get away from this, step away, and try to listen to the inner guidance of your higher self, soul, guides to God, whatever you prefer, the angels. There's a download just right there at your crown chakra, just like wants to come through, but you're not receiving it. You have to be in receptive mode in order to fully understand. And it'll be like a aha moment, you know? I get it now. I get what this whole thing is about, and it's just gonna like knock your socks off. Okay, and hopes and fears. Hopes and fears is this, again, is coming towards this completion, right? The actions you take towards this completion will involve you really letting go of a bag of bricks that you've been carrying around. It's been weighing you down. It's taking long to complete the cycle because you're trying to drag the past in its future. You can't. So there's a need to really drop things and let go. Maybe it's just let it go. Forgive and forget, you know? The final outcome. The final outcome is the prosperity that you're trying to get to. See, you need to collaborate in order to gain that prosperity. You're trying to step forward, take action, and then in the final outcome, once you do settle this and close this karmic cycle, you become a very much higher level of yourself, and in abundance. You're in abundant position with a lot of like knowledge and confidence and abundance, whether that's money or material possession, or just like abundantly in tune with yourself, like whatever abundance means to you. But it is prosperous because it starts off that you're trying to take a step towards prosperity, and it ends that you've reached that level. Okay, so I'm gonna pull a couple more messages here. Okay, and then you have emotions are running high. So probably between this karmic cycle with your father, the emotions are running high. They're running high because the emotions are actually communicating to you something that is important. So if you just listen, then yeah, your hard work is paying off. So you're almost there. Okay, hope that's helpful.